Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel as we take a look at the Virgo full moon happening on March 7th, 2023 at 7:40 a.m. That's Eastern time, so be sure and adjust for your location on the planet. Every full moon is when the luminaries are on two separate sides of the astrological wheel. And we find the moon here at 16 degrees of Virgo, 40 minutes, opposite the sun over in Pisces at 16 degrees of Pisces, 40 minutes. And so every full moon is when the moon is at its brightest in the sky and it is revealing to you something that perhaps you didn't see or realize before. It also is shining a light on something that has been in our unconscious, and we are meant to bring it up to our conscious awareness through the full moon's bright, powerful energy. So in your chart, you would identify where you have 16 to 17 degrees of Virgo, which house it's in, as this is the house where the full moon is bringing your attention to something, matters of the house, which is about a specific environment of life, and showing you what you're meant to see and understand. Virgo is the energy of how we organize, manage, and basically improve parts of our life, where we look at what's working and what's not working. And that could be something that you're seeing during this full moon. You're understanding where new solutions might be necessary, a new process, something else needs to come into play, perhaps a new detail or information that you previously overlooked or didn't see. So this is also an energy of coming back into the mind-body connection, as that is a strength of Virgo energies. It's where the mind and body have a beautiful synergy, and they can be very powerful when they are in that harmony. So this is where you could be making some self-improvements. Things around your self-care might be coming to light. Maybe you're seeing what needs to change in your daily habits. Perhaps there's some things that energize you that you want to bring in and incorporate. Also, there could be an understanding of what no longer works for you, what you're ready to shift or change up, what you want to do in a new direction to gain new results. So the Virgo energy will highlight, again, what's working, what's not working, what can be improved, as well as anything that's been missing. Virgo is very much about the details. It's methodical and analytical. So there could be something here that you just didn't see before, and now you're seeing it. Now, this is also a full moon that is, as you can see, on its own, where there are no other planets on this side of the zodiac wheel at this time. And there could be things coming up for you that you've been out of touch with, that you just haven't had energy for. You haven't really been aware of it. It hasn't been something in front of you. And this is something else that the full moon can bring up, is that when we have so many planets and energies on this side of the astrological wheel, we're moving through a full moon cycle that shines a light on the other part of our life or something else that we just weren't paying attention to. So keep in mind, there could be something coming up here in the Virgo full moon energy signature that you're meant to tend to and take care of. Virgo is a very responsible energy. It wants to do things right. It wants to do things properly. And so there could be something here that you're like, oh, shoot, I forgot to do that. I meant to do that earlier. I need to take care of that now. This could also be a good time to check in on those New Year's resolutions, those New Year's intentions. Check in on how they're connecting mentally and with your body consciousness. Now, on the other side of the wheel, you can see that we have 3 planets here in Pisces. We have Mercury now in Pisces, the Sun in Pisces, and Neptune in Pisces. So there could be a sense of this is where your energy is feeling that it's focused, or rather in Pisces where it wants to drift off and have a break. This is where you could be sensing where you want less to do. You want less to take care of or less to manage. And then this full moon could show you what the priorities are that you cannot overlook. So when we have multiple planets here in Pisces, there's a sense of, well, I'm ready to just take a break, clear some things off my calendar, and trust where I'm at, trust a process, and not try to force matters or make something happen. Now we have both of the sun and the moon squaring this Mars, still in Gemini. Yes, we've been talking about Mars in Gemini since August, and Mars is actually going to move into Cancer in about 2 weeks, March 25th. So we're building up to some big energy changes in March. And what we're seeing here is a square from both the sun and the moon to Mars. And this is a frustrated energy. This is where you could feel something burst open or burst through. This is where you could have impatience or something that maybe feels like too much to handle. The square to Mars in Gemini is about choices. These are all mutable signs, by the way. Gemini, Virgo, and Pisces are mutable signs that are about flexibility and adaptability, choices, options, variety, and it could be a sense of just decide. Just make a decision. There could be frustration around a choice or a decision. There could be something that you decided earlier when Mars was retrograde in Gemini, and now you're realizing, I don't want that. That doesn't work for me. Am I stuck? And there could be a frustration here because the Virgo energy is going to want you to take care of your responsibilities and what you agreed to. The Pisces energy is going to be one of, I'm not sure, I need more time. I don't want to be put on the spot. And then this Mars in Gemini is about getting things done and moving ahead. So again, there can be a frustration here with a previous decision or choice. There could be something too that maybe you don't know what to choose. You're feeling that indecision coming through of, well, I don't know which direction to go. I don't know what I want. And so this is a full moon really to tap into what your intuition is saying. Now, why is that? Well, because this moon in Virgo has 2 ruling planets. Virgo is ruled by Mercury and Chiron. This Mars in Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And we have Mercury in Pisces, answering to Neptune in Pisces. Mercury is actually not strong in Pisces. This is where the details get missed or overlooked. But there is something about trusting what feels right, trusting where your energy rises, trusting your intuition. So this could be a full moon where you're having a push and pull between your intuition and your logic, between what seems, what we would say, reasonable or rational or makes sense, and then you're feeling that your intuition maybe is guiding you in another direction, or your intuition is shining a light on another solution or possibility. So I feel like this is a very interesting Virgo full moon because it basically leads back to Pisces. And yet we have to tend to matters in the physical world, the details, the particulars, what's in front of us, even though we're feeling or sensing something else over here. And it's very interesting with Pisces because it's almost like you sense something behind the curtain, and that is your higher self. That is your soul. The other thing here that I'm feeling so strongly is that this Virgo energy can be very focused and locked into what works, what the solution is, how things work, how to go about it, and very much about, we're following this plan, this process. This is what we know is true. We can count on this. And so Virgo gets verified by the physical world, meaning the things that are working. And I feel like this is where there could be something that, you have to take care of it. You have to tend to it. You can't ignore it. But then we go to the Pisces energy, which is about there can be multiple solutions. There can be multiple solutions that you don't even see in the moment, that you're not even aware of at this time, but you're sensing it and feeling it. So we have to tend to the practical Virgo matters, even though you could feel a frustration. But there's also the support of Uranus, now direct in Taurus, trining that moon, sextiling the sun, supporting the new endeavor, supporting something that might even seem crazy. But what I'm feeling over here is how, because there's a strong focus on Pisces. And by the way, Saturn, look at Saturn, 29 degrees Aquarius, 59 minutes. Right after this full moon, Saturn enters Pisces. 4 planets in Pisces. Really bringing our attention to what I would call the unlimited potentials of the universe. It's the miracle matrix. It's, okay, there's things that we don't know yet that can come together in very unexpected ways, surprising ways that are beneficial. And this can trouble Virgo. That's show me the details, show me the Excel spreadsheet, put this into something I can read and understand. But there's this focus on what we just don't know yet. And that's part of what you could be feeling, is that there's a sense of, it could almost feel like something anticipatory, something interesting or exciting. Because this Uranus at 15 degrees of Taurus, 44 minutes, is now direct, and it's covered territory it's been before. So this is a Uranus moving through territory here, the very middle of Taurus. So there's a threshold of crossing over to the other side of something that's been jarring, unexpected, disruptive, chaotic. I mean, especially if you have planets in Taurus, you've been feeling this more personally. It's like the universe revs things up when Uranus is involved. So I feel like there's something here that can come through that is grounded. Uranus is in an earth sign, just like the moon. There could be something unexpected that develops and pops through because of what you've had to let go of, what you've had to surrender, what you've had to basically just give up. But it feels like, I don't know, I'm getting this image of if you were fighting the universe for something and the universe took it away, or the universe said, that's a no, we're shutting the door, closing that down, that's a no. There's something else that Uranus brings through that's like a very clear yes, that is unexpected. It feels like, because it's trining the moon, it feels like a positive development, a positive surprise. And it could also feel like you're waiting on more details, but the details are over here in Pisces land. They're just kind of floating around. There's really no details in Pisces land, by the way. It's just all the ethers. It's all this mist and fog, and what's going on, I don't know. But the universe knows what's going on. The universe knows what's coming together. And so there could be something here where you're really sensing through your intuition and your spiritual self something. And then the earth signs and the Virgo energy are trying to put the pieces together. Kind of like trying to solve a puzzle, but you're like, there's 5 pieces missing of this puzzle. Okay, actually, let's say there's 4 pieces missing. And the 4 pieces, one is with Neptune, one is with the Sun, one is with Mercury, and one will be with Saturn, who enters Pisces out just mere hours after this full moon. So it's sort of like the universe is still holding pieces of the puzzle, and that could be driving you bonkers or driving you mad. Because these are the energies of the mind. And your mind might be trying to figure out something. How do I put this together? How is this going to work? How is this going to improve something, be reliable, be practical? Well, you could have a sense of you don't quite know yet, but you're trusting universal energies as they bring things together. And with Saturn going into Pisces, Saturn is going to bring it together because Saturn is all about the physical, tangible parts of our reality. So there's something here. It's almost like stay focused on what is in front of you, on what you can control, but don't overthink it. Because if you overthink something, that's where you could get frustrated. And this Virgo can absolutely overthink. It's part of the analytical strength. And so analyzing is a strength, but overthinking can be exhausting. So it's looking at that for yourself. Am I overthinking this to the point of exhaustion and frustration? Or can I just let it go and be surprised by what develops or comes through? So it's a very interesting Virgo full moon when you have so many energies really in Pisces that are quite dominant right now. Now you also notice that we have strong Aries, Jupiter, Chiron, Venus, all in Aries. Venus traveled through and was conjunct that Jupiter and conjunct the Chiron. Now she's moving ahead. And we're seeing this Jupiter approach conjunction to Chiron, which will happen at 14 degrees of Aries, just a few days after the full moon. And that Jupiter is going to bring in something that supports your healing process, that supports the courage you've been developing, the independence you've been developing. This Chiron in Aries is highlighting where we haven't felt ready, confident, or secure to do something new or to do something on our own terms, to do something that begins a new chapter in our life. And here comes Jupiter that's like, yes, you can. Here you go. Here's a kick in the pants. Let's go for it. You're going to do it. And it's kind of this like happy support that is showing you how much you've healed. I feel like there's something here about a healing threshold, a healing power that Jupiter is bringing in to fully own, integrate, and ground in, so that it's like you could see something being revealed, especially right after this full moon, that validates what you've healed. And with Chiron, I always feel it as it really changes our internal frequency. It strengthens those vulnerabilities, those fears, those insecurities. It strengthens our frequency in some way. And then Jupiter shows what has been reprogrammed. Now, Jupiter exaggerates and amplifies. So if there's anything you've been avoiding that you haven't been healing or working on or working through, that could also come up here. That could also be something that is very in your face. Because the universe is saying it's time to take care of this. It's time to reprogram this or work through this. And you're beautifully supported. You're beautifully supported, especially with this Jupiter. So that also feels strong here as we move through the first half of March. Now, in a matter of weeks is when we're going to have some even bigger energy changes. Pluto moves into Aquarius. We have the Aries new moon occurring right on the Aries equinox, March 20th, March 21st. And there's also some big energies coming up during Aries season that I'll talk more about in the next Aries new moon video, just so we don't get too ahead of ourselves. But there's something about this Virgo full moon that, again, it's anticipatory. You're sensing something coming together, showing up, breaking through. But the universe is saying, okay, but now you need to tend to what's in front of you. Eat your vegetables. Take care of your body. Focus on what you can do. Just take it day by day. Ground in. Virgo wants you to ground in, be practical, manage your energy wisely, and that's what will prepare us for the bigger changes coming later in March and into Aries season. So a very interesting Virgo full moon where, yes, there's things you have to take care of, but there's really just so much more energy happening here in Pisces that it could be hard to focus. But that's what's necessary. That's what's essential right now. And that's how we stay grounded in our energy fields. So as always, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has been beneficial to you and resonates. Thank you so much for your comments, your likes, and subscribing. And thank you for sharing this in your groups so that others can find it and benefit from it as well. I'll be back here soon with another video talking about that Aries new moon. And here we go. March is a very big month.